pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Good morning, everybody.
Good morning.
Call the meeting to order. Motion to approve the agenda.
So moved.
I will second.
Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Approve the minutes to 12:16.
Minutes look fantastic in order. Motion to approve minutes from 12:16.
Second.
Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Okay. General public concern? None there. Ben?
Oh, is he?
Morning.
Dan. Just got one item on the agenda today, and that's to approve a quote from Chuck Britson for 2020 bridge inspection. The inspection won't actually take place until November, December of next year, but we usually approve the contract a year in advance. The pricing is relatively similar to what we paid last year. The standard bridges went up about $12 a bridge, and the pony and high trusses went up about $20 a bridge.
So Ben, when we do the plans, when we sit and watch those pictures that you put, are those the ones that, does he provide them?
Yes.
When he's doing that?
So what they do is they do a detailed inspection of all of these bridges. They get underneath, they inspect all of our trusses, they rate our piling on our wooden bridges to determine section loss, which we've gotten under, and we will do it ourselves too, if there's any question on them. They inspect the grade of the concrete that's underneath, whether or not it's deteriorating, pack rust that we have on some of our steel members. On the high trusses, one of our county employees was out there with them the last time I went out with the guy, and basically we use an extension ladder in the back of a pickup and raise it all the way up and climb up to the top and inspect and take pictures.
Okay.
So you need to have a certified person.
You need to have a certified...
They have to be certified bridge inspector.
Right.
What is a pony truss bridge?
A pony truss bridge would be like the bridge that we're scheduled to replace here this year on Virginia. It looks like a half arch, but it's only maybe 6 feet high, and there's no top to it. So if you're thinking like...
Yep, that's what I was thinking, and that's something that, if I, for the lack of specifics, northeast part of the county.
We've got two left, and they're both in the northeast part of the county.
Yeah, okay, and wonder why that's more than a regular bridge.
Right.
I don't know why, but...
The pony truss is just because of the members that have to be rated on...
They're steel.
It's all steel, each angle has to be rated.
Okay, so there's more
hand calculations, more work
Okay.
to inspecting.
I mean, I can understand the high truss bridge,
Right.
that, but, okay. How often do they do the bridge inspection?
For these, they do every 2 years. We've got, if you'll notice, the number of bridges, the 54, we've actually got about 73 bridges, but some of them have been replaced recently enough that they only have to be inspected every 48 months instead of every 24.
Okay, so...
So that's why this isn't the typical 20 to 23,000 that we're used to seeing.
And box culverts, they
Aren't a bridge.
aren't a bridge anymore.
Box culverts, as long as they're less than 20 feet in span, they don't have to be inspected anymore. Like the one that we put in by your place, because that's longer than 20 feet, we still have that one inspected.
Under bridge inspection, folks?
Under the folks, yep.
Really?
Yep,
Is that a requirement?
that's a requirement by the DOT. I asked the same question.
Because I'd say you could look at it
Right.
and say, that looks good.
That was my questioning for them was basically, do these really need to be inspected every 24 months? Because they're precast concrete box culverts.
Right.
Mhm.
And they're within, you know, a lot of them are within the past 5 or 10
Right.
years. They shouldn't have to be inspected every 24 months, but right now it's a DOT requirement.
Okay, so, other than that, really didn't go up much?
No, other than that-
This is a mandated program, so I would make a motion to approve the quote from Chuck Brispin for the 2020 bridge inspection program.
I'll second.
Any other discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Carried.
Thanks for asking him about looking at box culverts.
Yeah, it's, I think it's an ongoing deal, and with more and more counties that are starting to do it, I'm hoping that inspection.
They need to be
And it wouldn't be
inspected, I think you need to...
Frosting on a cake for a bridge inspector.
Well, yeah.
You know.
Not
You
much
know, I
involved there.
mean, there's,
Yep, there it is.
there's not a ton of them that we have
Mhm.
that qualify for that, but I'll bet there's 5
Well,
Yeah.
out there. You know, there's, what's the price? 200 per?
244.
244, you know, so you're giving them an extra $1,000 every 2 years for basically walking through the culvert, yep.
Mhm.
Looks like
Still
they-
here.
Looks like it did when it was still inspected, or when...
I mean, I just don't see that requiring an extra
And
amount of
they get to be
expertise.
30 years old probably.
Right, then it's worth walking through.
Well, I think, you should look at them every couple of years,
Right.
but I don't know that...
Now, the ones that are relatively new, I don't go walking through, but the ones that have been here for 15 years, 20 years, yeah, they warrant walking through, you know, making sure that we don't have too much silt in the bottom.
Yeah.
Things like
All that fun stuff.
They're sucking dirt in the middle or
Or,
something.
yeah,
Something is-
or if they-
right.
if there's a blowout in the concrete or something,
Mhm.
you know. But
Okay. Anything else for us?
other than that, we took delivery of our new truck this week. Finally, that's supposed to be here, I think, in September. The Humboldt shop is cutting trees and killing trees with the tree killer, and the other shop, I think Bode's supposed to be doing some ditch cleaning this week, and Denny's trying to catch up on maintenance on, getting Monica put back together, our old snowblower. Trying to keep plugging away and taking advantage of the nice weather that we've had here recently, so.
Okay.
Anything else?
I was just looking through this, and it's here in Fort Dodge, that might be something really good for you to possibly consider. In March, it's in Fort Dodge,
Okay.
and it's not that expensive, so it might be something close, and maybe you, maybe your supervisors, if you, or whatever, be a good possibility. I'll leave that with you, because I've been to that one already, years ago. It's not too bad of a one.
Couple days, or
I think it's just a one-day one.
one-day seminar? Okay.
One-day seminar, March 11th. So that kinda gives you some idea about it and everything, and,
Okay.
but I have been to that one, it's not too, spread fryers aren't too bad.
And then I've got the email on the other one.
On the other one?
Yeah.
Okay.
All right.
Okay.
Okay, anything else for Ben? If not, thank you.
All right.
Merry Christmas.
Yeah, Merry
Christmas, Ben.
Moving on, approve the claims.
Now, I looked through claims, and I had claims of $325,920.92. And drainage of $37,850.33.
That's what I had, I'll second the motion.
The only comment I'll make is, I see the conservationists have ordered half the cabinets from a local contractor who's building them, which is nice.
Oh,
Keeping
good.
it all in the community.
Yep.
Mhm.
And plus, they'll be well-built cabinets.
Good,
So,
awesome.
Mhm.
Very
Great,
good.
that is good,
yeah, I spotted that in there, and I thought, oh, I wonder if that's where it's like,
good, yep.
but,
It is nice to keep, if we're gonna do it here, let's keep it.
Well, absolutely,
Because,
yes.
you know,
yes.
Okay. Any other discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Carried. Approve action on changing the date for the next board meeting to January 2nd.
You could have two meetings if you wanted, December 30th and then January 2nd, but you're required to have an organizational meeting on January 2nd.
We love the requirements, of course.
Yeah.
I would make a motion that we have our meeting that week on the 2nd of January.
I'd second it.
Any other discussion? So there will be no meeting on January 30th, it'll be moved, or December 30th, it'll be moved to January 2nd. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Carried.
Regular 8:30?
Yep.
Accept and place on file the county social services fiscal year 19 annual report.
This has been filed in our offices, so if anybody wants to look at it, it'll be right up here.
Okay.
The one thing I'd like to bring up about that is, we voted last time, to do the per capita levy. It was $35.18, and we lowered it to $34 even. The reason why we did that is we've been under budget, and we do have the kids coming in, the 0 to 18, so we didn't wanna lower it too much because we're gonna have, so it's gonna eat up some of our, that we didn't use.
Some of your reserves.
Right, it's gonna eat our reserves, so we didn't wanna go down too low and then have to,
To
in a year,
jump it
way back up. So we're doing this, and then if we stay okay, then we'll either lower or leave it, or, we just don't know for sure what all it's gonna take, 'cause it's gonna be a whole new ballgame with the 0 to 18,
Mhm.
so, but everything's going good with it,
Good,
now that we've got things settled down.
yeah. How's things with Cassuth?
They have been, Northwest has actually accepted them, but they have to pay us off before they can leave. But Worth, oh my gosh, let's see, Worth, Winnebago, and Cassuth, Northwest region has agreed to take them.
Okay.
And we're like, okay, that's fine, so, and they're all
Contiguous.
the only problem's gonna be is Emmett. Emmett does not wanna leave,
Mm.
and they're gonna be orphaned now, because Cassuth is the only one that touches them. I think that's right.
So will they have to go with them then? Unless they've changed the rule?
Yeah, unless they change the rule. We haven't gotten to that part, we haven't gotten to that part of it yet, because we were waiting to see if they were, we honestly didn't think any other region was gonna take them, to be honest, especially since Cassuth still owes quite a bit of money, and we're not sure how Cassuth is gonna be able to come up with all that, because they're basically 2 years behind.
Wow, and they're double the population of...
I know it. So, and they've only been doing a levy of 25 something, I can't think of what this is.
Mhm.
So they're gonna have to dig into some of their, I suppose, their reserves if they have any, if they wanna get out right away. That's the only way they can leave is to get out, to pay us off, right, all, 100%.
Okay.
Okay.
So do you need a motion for that?
Need a motion on
Okay.
acceptance.
We had a motion and a second.
Oh, we did? Oh, I'm sorry.
No, I'm looking ahead at the...
Okay.
One up above it, my fault.
Yeah.
Sorry.
I'll make a motion to place on file the, County Social Services Year 2019 Annual Report.
I will second Sandy's motion.
Any other discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Carried. Committee report.
All right, this past Monday, the 16th, I had a building families meeting, that afternoon in Clarion. And then on Wednesday, the 18th, had a, joint, it's kind of a task force, whatever, but it's a few members from the 911 and the EMA boards that met. I was invited to go to that, means I will be the chairman of the 911 board next year. That was at 1 p.m. at the EOC at the LAC, Emergency Operations Center at the LAC building, and just discussed some ongoing concerns there with, and thoughts with the 911 and EMA, program. So, that's what I had officially last week.
I had no official meetings.
I had a ministerial meeting Wednesday at the Methodist Church. I called in and listened. We still working on trying to, they gave an update on the post office option. I'm sure you all read the Humboldt paper.
I was gonna say, wait a minute,
That the post office has been is gonna be taken by that brewery.
Larry Bell's brewery.
So, which, you know, I guess we didn't, being a non-profit group, there was less chance of us getting something like that, so we're still in the hunt for a facility. We have some other options, but we're trying to make sure that, trying to take some of the pressure off of the ministers, because as phone rings and they have a death they have to go take care of, they don't have time to, or make an emergency run to Des Moines for someone who's had a heart attack or whatever. It's just more on their plate than what they really had time to take care of, so we're trying to figure out, Udinal runs 11 other food pantries, so we're trying to give some of the
It'd just be nice
responsibility.
to find a building that would house all that.
Yeah, and that would be our goal.
Yeah.
If we could get Udno, in there with them, they run it, and then we could have the door open 4 or 5 days a week.
Mm-hmm.
And what we have out here, the facility is fine, but we also, when the food pantry truck comes, Dave, you know, it's wall-to-wall, clear to the ceiling with food. As the week or month goes on, it kinda gets empty, but we just need to have it so that it could be more usable in a better location. So we have a couple of options we're looking at, but see what happens, so that was all I had.
Well, I have to go back a couple of weeks, 'cause I haven't been able to report. On December 4th, I had a county social services in Garner, Iowa for our monthly meeting, and then we met here at the Humboldt County, here in the boardroom for Iowa Workforce Development for our Region 5, trying to get things figured out with that. We just found out, Doug Bailey, from Hamilton sent an email out, I think it was Friday, that, we did that, the ruling was for the, we were trying to oppose what they were, doing for the different regions, you know, going from 15 to 6. They ruled that, Townsend, who is the director of Iowa Workforce Development, went about it the wrong way. So now we're back to figuring out what are we going to do. So, yeah. So, we were ahead in our region, and now we're behind again. So, I have a feeling we're gonna be starting over, maybe not starting completely over. We've got the basics down, but we've gotta have this completed by next year, by December 31st, or we lose $11 million in funding from the feds.
December 31st of 2020.
2020, yeah.
We have a year.
We have a year. So we have some time. But for everything that we have to do, because we have to find a board, we have to hire people within that, you know, so it's gonna be a little fun. But anyway, enough of that. I went to the annual, District 2 meeting in, Charles City with Dave on the 5th of December. And, let's see.
Where again did you say that was at?
Charles City.
Okay. And the meeting for workforce development was which day?
The 4th here.
Fourth also?
Here at Humboldt, yep.
Okay.
See, we just flip our pages, we don't have to do all this.
Just go back one day.
Can you get one of these books so she can...
I got a book and I'm not gonna use it.
Russians might be hacking into your phone.
This modern stuff is just, look at Ken, he's doing that.
Look at this, all I gotta do is,
Kent's over there old
I
school,
just gotta
still
pick,
scribbling.
All you gotta do is read the paper. All you gotta do is read the paper.
December 17th, I had kitty cat daycare. That was very good, Bruce, that was good. And that's it.
I had nothing official.
I would tell you, if you haven't read through the Conservation Board, there's interesting things that they've been doing. It looks like the buildings, buildings, the cabins, electrical lines are roughed in, walls have been insulated, windows, patio doors have been insulated. I haven't been out there, I drive out by there and take a look at it. So,
Yes, they are.
said they install card siding on interior walls, so they must really be
They're bucking along.
changing.
I ran into the guy who was in charge of it the other day, and he says it's been a fun project.
Cool, good.
Who is in charge, who is doing the building trades?
I know that
Oswald from Iowa.
Iowa Central.
Oh, okay.
quite a few years.
Oh, okay.
And then there's,
They're having a good time with it.
awesome.
Good.
There's also an update on
Damn.
the dam from Dave,
Yeah.
or from Lee, who had been on a conference call, so that's interesting. There's some good things to read through there, so
Yep.
just bring that to...
I read that, and I told Todd Lee that we do appreciate the minutes as an update. He will come in and visit with us, obviously, if there's something going on, but, it's just nice.
Yeah.
Like
It
Bruce said, I
is,
just
yeah.
wanna reiterate that
Kinda keeps it,
it is, and then if you see something and,
Yeah.
you know, like we just talked about the new cabins being built, it's just nice to have the updates that they provide us every month.
Yeah.
Either by their minutes or somebody stopping by. Very nice.
I'm anxious to see those things and how quick they get started
I
being
tell you,
used, and...
I had a little road trip back from Phoenix this week, and they got tons of RV parks out there, and almost every RV park had those little cabins out.
did they really?
Oh, yeah, I think it's...
And like a dozen of them to 20. So they
That's
must-
good.
they must be
Well, I suppose
popular.
you figure, like, Lee and I, we always thought it'd be fun, but we're not gonna put that kind of an investment.
Into a
They're-
camper, yeah.
They're expensive though, 'cause we looked into that one time. I mean, if you want something
Then
really,
you
something
got a
nice.
big pickup to pull them around.
Well, that's the other thing we looked at too, like, we'll just go get a hotel.
Just drop $250,000 and buy a pusher RV motor home.
Yeah, but that's a lot of,
$250,000,
yeah, that's a lot of,
a good one. Right?
You can buy it cheaper than that.
Yeah, but if you really wanna get state of the art.
yeah.
And we would also express our Santa, looks like he's getting a little tired,
I'm dragging.
and I keep updated, every time I turn around, there's pictures posted, and Santa looks like he's hanging in there.
That's a
Enjoy the
commitment
pictures.
thing.
Great job.
I hear nothing but good comments
Yeah.
about how many
Great job.
people are going through this, so
Yeah,
you guys do awesome,
This year,
awesome.
yeah.
we could just get more help to keep an eye on Santa's all.
Yeah, Santa can hang in.
I got my little fence down there stacked clear full of candy canes so I can grab them and throw them in, 'cause a lot of times you can't get to them.
Oh, yeah.
Sometimes he even surprises you in the grocery store when you're getting groceries.
Ah.
Well, that's...
He knows my name.
Knows if you've been naughty or not.
Yeah.
Just while we're talking about that.
Yeah. Peggy, you're always nice, you've never been naughty.
We got a lot of kids, as I talk to people, and I call them by name, and, "You know Santa?"
Awesome.
It's fun.
Well, thanks for doing that for the
Yeah.
community day.
Yeah, thank you.
Great.
Any other discussion of any business comes up? If not, I entertain a motion.
Let
I
me
just
say
have
one,
a few things to give you.
can I say one thing?
No.
Okay. That's what most people tell me. I appreciate your honesty. Well, you know what? I'm gonna say it anyway, 'cause it pertains to you. Thank you for doing a stellar job as chairman this past year.
Yes.
Yeah.
Appreciate it.
You got it next year.
I know it. So I may touch base with you in the transitional part of it, but
I know, I see that.
thanks for the effort and time and what it
Each
takes.
one has its part. See,
Remember, they're all equal, and treat them all the same.
Yep, so, but anyway, just didn't go unnoticed, 'cause I know you got some extracurricular stuff, so if I got any questions, I'll be touching base
It's
with you
been a
today.
bad year, it's like Sandy said, we gotta have a better year next year.
Yeah, 2020, hey,
It is gonna be a better year.
2020, it's gonna be amazing.
Yeah.
I'll be the cheerleader for it, how's that?
Oh, You shouldn't be the cheerleader, Sandy. We're gonna put that in a minute.
From my perspective, it's hard breaking in a new chairman, you guys.
You're gonna have your work cut out for it. You're gonna have your work cut out for it.
Grounded in the seat.
It's about 11 and a half months.
You can see what you're working with, so you're gonna have your work cut out for you.
Okay, I got everything, that's it for me.
That's it? Nothing else?
Just Merry Christmas,
Merry
everybody.
Merry Christmas. I would
Yep,
leave with that, motion to adjourn.
second.
Any other discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Meeting adjourned.
All right.
8:58.